My name is Omja Hagedar. I'm a 2005 grad from UVA doing a Bachelor of Arts, and I'm a 2008 grad from the law school. So I am the development chair for AAPAAN. AAPAAN is the largest alumni-based ethnic group at UVA, and we represent more than 15,000 APA alumni, APA meaning Asian and Asian Pacific American alumni. We kind of have three goals generically, which we kind of target. The first is to provide APA alumni with unique networking opportunities that will help them both professionally and personally. Two, to give a greater voice to the APA community at UVA and beyond, so in various chapter cities where we have membership chapters. And third is to, and really why I'm here to speak to you today, is to endow a substantial and sustainable scholarship program for UVA students. There's a tremendous need out there. I think so. We all know that college is very expensive. Generally, whether you go to a state school or a private school, and since college education is kind of the focal point, we believe, for a lot of people to get better jobs, to have better job training, to be competitive in the global market, you pretty much have to have a college education. Now you may ask, and a lot of people have asked, well, why do we need to give a scholarship to APA students, right? Aren't their parents rich? Aren't they the model minority? Why do we need to do this? Don't they all have money? And the answer is no, they don't. And what we found is that the APA student population is very diverse, and they're not homogeneous. And so many of them, in fact, almost 50% of them at UVA require some type of financial need, and almost half of them also graduate with some level of debt. And so that's the problem that we are trying to solve. So, for a potential donor out there, let me give you kind of three reasons on why you should donate to the APA, to the APAAN scholarship, and why we think it's really important to increase our donor base. So the first one, which I've kind of described, is the financial need, right? So there's a lot of students out there that have a tremendous need, and we're willing and able to help them. And so if we can, we really want to encourage our donors to try and do that. And so by your donation, you're really helping really strong and bright students at UVA succeed to finish college and go off and do a lot of great things. The second reason why you should give is that by a student at UVA being able to not necessarily worry so much about financial need, and them being able to take on other programs, like let's say joining the student council or honor committee, or writing a research paper, or being involved in a play or arts or whatever it is, by them being able to do that, you're helping that student in terms of their academic achievement and personal and professional development. You're also helping the UVA community. And what we found is there's a limited number of UVA students that are heavily involved in many different type of organizations, like the honor committee or judiciary or other key organizations on ground. And so we want to encourage APA leaders on grounds to do these type of leadership activities, these high political roles. And we think that that's going to help them on ground, and it's going to help them afterwards when they're in the boardroom, when they're working at a law firm, when they're working for a hospital as a nurse or a doctor, whatever it is. These type of experiences are going to help the Asian community at large, both at UVA and generally, to be better citizens. And the third real reason why we encourage you to give is that we think that having a strong Asian donor base at UVA will allow Asians generally from UVA in the APA community to be perceived as very organized, and to be perceived as very eager to support causes that they care about. And this ultimately helps the Asian American community have a higher profile and a higher voice for APA issues on ground, whether it's honor committee issues, whether it's diversity and inclusion, whether it's encouraging more Asian leaders to be more involved both at the university and outside. We think that encouraging donations to the scholarship program will help these leaders.
So my name is Jason Lau. I grew up in New Jersey, went to Virginia, started in 2010, graduated in 2014, majored in chemistry, a specialization in biochemistry. So right now I'm currently in medical school in my first year. So right now I go to Albert Einstein College of Medicine in the Bronx. For me, it all started around between second and third year. The issue with me was that so financial aid is a funny situation, especially if you're out of state. Long story short, my brother graduated from college, so number of children in college was now 1 instead of 2. Financial aid unexpectedly was cut in half. As an out-of-state student who went to UVA for a pretty reasonable price, it all of a sudden what became unaffordable. Now I had a difficult situation on my hands between second and third year. In the summer I was thinking, okay, wow, like how am I going to afford this? And so I told myself the best situation was going to be looking for grants, looking for scholarships. And so that was how I searched for everything. And I came across the AAPAAN scholarship, during that whole tumultuous time.
My name is Shang Yu. I graduated 2015. I have a double major with mathematics and finance in comm school. So, I think when I was a second year or like third year or something, I was part of like a mentorship program or something where I got matched up with an alumni, APA alumni who are already working in some like industries that I'm interested in, and I had like few phone conversation with him, and that was like really helpful actually at that point for me.
We had a story of a student in the essay that she submitted, and she kind of talked about how when she was submitting her loan applications to the financial aid office, she went there and said, hey, could you give me a deferment? She was asking the loan officer, could you give me a deferment? And the financial aid person said, okay, yeah, that's fine. What is the amount for? And she said $250. And they were like, $250? She's like, that's such a small amount. Why are you coming to us for a deferment for $250? And the student was, obviously embarrassed and hurt. And in her mind, it was a very large amount that her parents couldn't afford. She had come from a single parent household, and she had 2 jobs, and she was struggling. But it kind of showcases the need that $250 doesn't sound like a lot to maybe a lot of people, but to her it was, and so that kind of showcases some of the need.